Hi there everyone, this is Cloud Chief, and in today's video I wanted to showcase the Ark Angel Mithra fight on difficult. I've been doing this on normal for a little bit just for practice, and it's a good way for me to burn my merits. I like just doing these fights solo just to see what I can handle. I've recently stepped up to doing the difficult fight, and while the fight itself is pretty easy, there are a couple things that do make it difficult, and if you make one or two mistakes, you can just lose, and it doesn't even need to be a big mistake, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Make sure you buff, get your trust out and everything. I particularly chose these trusts because I want it mostly support. I didn't want to be feeding the Mithra a bunch of TP, but I also need a tank. The main reason is the Mithra will use Charm, and if the Mithra charms me being solo, all my trusts will despawn, and then when Charm wears off, it's just me versus the Mithra and her pet. So that's not easy to do. So Charm's a threat, and then the other threat is Cloud Splitter. So, after I got all my trusts, set up, I found after I'm done buffing, what I really want to do is, claim her in some way. So, that's why I'm casting Blind, and then quickly run up in a straight line. And that typically gets all the trusts in good order, because you can see all the rest of my support trusts, they are out of range. So, that's why I did the summon order the way I did, and just make sure, to run in just at a straight line and hit the Mithra as soon as possible so your trusts don't move in. Because I wish they had your trusts, like your casters, move back some. Because if not, they can get hit by some nasty AoEs, and obviously, you want the least amount of party damage being taken, so that way, your healer's MP isn't being drained. But like I said, this fight's pretty easy, honestly. Like, the Mithra can't really do a ton of damage to the Elven either in this fight until the end. Like I said, the two biggest threats are Charm, so I need to make sure I don't have hate when Charm goes off. As long as that happens, then it's not an issue, because Charm will just fail because it's a trust. And then Cloud Splitter. Cloud Splitter is an interesting weapon skill. It ignores shadows. I'm not sure if it ignores defense or not, and it just does straight magic damage. It does a little more than 2,000 damage to me, but if I'm at full health, it won't one-shot me. What it'll end up doing, well, it'll do a ton of damage, and then the biggest problem is not so much Cloud Splitter by itself, but that she can, do back-to-back Cloud Splitters, which will self-skill chain. And, getting hit by a skill chain on top of a 2,000 weapon skill, that's gonna pretty much one-shot you. It'll, if she skill chains the Elven, even if the Elven gets cured to full HP after the first Cloud Splitter, it'll typically, not always, but it'll typically one-shot the Elven. I think she'll stay up if she takes like a shield block for the Cloud Splitter, or I'm not even sure if she can shield block. I'm not sure what it is, but I've seen her get hit by it and only take like 700 damage even with darkness going off. But it's rare. Most of the time, if the Mithra self-skill chains someone, they go down. So, outside of Charm and Cloud Splitter, this fight, even on difficult, as long as your accuracy isn't a problem, is pretty much a joke. I like I said, I make sure I claim the Mithra so that way the pet is on me and it's an aggro-less and not hateless. So that way I can be cured and the tiger isn't going to be moving around. I know the Elven does have an AoE TP move, because later the tiger will get hit and then it'll go on the Elven, and then obviously after some cures the tiger starts running around. But I mean, for the most part, like I said, I just come in, I make sure I put my negative immunity moves down. See, I pulled hate. which is not a good thing, because if I happen to weapon skill, pull hate, and then she charmed, then I'm pretty much screwed, and I've definitely had that happen. Even after this, I've gotten it down so even on difficult, I'm winning most of the time, but I'll still have the occasional, you know, just frustrating thing happen. I'll weapon skill, immediately pull hate and charm, and then it's frustrating. And then also just cloud splitter if something happens and my timers are off, because whatever the how I handle cloud splitter is whatever ninjas, I'm not even sure what it's called, but the move that mitigates severe damage. It's extremely useful, especially because if the Elven goes down, if I see the Mithra like do cloud splitter to me, I'll then, you know, put the move up. So that way if she does cloud splitter again, that way that in darkness will just do 0 damage. But it's definitely a fun fight. I like, you know, pushing the limits of what I can do, because I feel that, you know, makes me a better player learning tactics. But the biggest thing with this is, you know, trying to juggle hate, especially what is it, after charm goes off, because on difficult, I like trying to bounce hate back and forth, so only one cloud splitter will hit either me or the Elven, just giving us, you know, higher chance of survivability. I don't mind, you know, taking 2 if I'm able to with, you know, my spells, but for the most part, you know, especially on difficult, I want to juggle it. When I was doing it on normal, I didn't mind so much. I would typically wait until the first one, because I think she, was it Cloud Splitter did about 1600 on normal, but on this it does, like I said, 2000 to 2200, which still won't one-shot me if I'm at full health, but the darkness skill chain, that's what you really need to worry about and be concerned about. So, I mean, there's times where I'll try kiting her around the arena, if need be. After doing this, I'm not sure exactly what other job could really come in here and perform well. At this point, I think, yeah, I'm not trying to weapon skill, because I'm trying to kick charm off, since I don't think it's gone off yet, without pulling hate. That's why I keep like going in and just tapping her and then turning around. Because it's very easy if I'm just going all out that I will rip hate off the Elven, and then the Elven won't get hate back. I've had that happen multiple times. I'm just like, oh, whatever, and then charm goes off, and then you're screwed. So it's definitely taken a lot of trial and error to get to this point to be able to handle this. Plus the Mithra also has, was it high evasion, just in general. Being, I believe she's a thief beast. She does perfect dodge and charm. Not that perfect dodge is ever really a threat, it's just, you know, you can only do magic damage for 30 seconds. I'm not sure if I missed charm or not, but it must have gone off, because yeah, I'm going, yep, and here comes Cloud Splitter. You can see, yeah, the Elven was almost down. At this point, I should be, you know, just trying to, like, Zerg. I know I'm trying to bounce hate. Yeah, I know, like, right now I'm trying to pull hate since the Elven took 1 Cloud Splitter. I didn't want her to take 2 back-to-back to get self-weapon skilled. At this point, I don't mind, you know, tanking a little bit. Like, I don't mind being right on the threshold, since I can take a Cloud Splitter and not take any damage, but also being on difficult, I want to be very careful that I don't take 1 Cloud Splitter, keep hate, and then take it a second time. Yep, because, like, there's 1 Cloud Splitter. The move's up, so I'm putting it up, but I want it to make sure that if, you know, the Elven does Cloud Splitter again, she happens to do Rampage, it wouldn't even, you know, Darkness, since it did skill chain on 2 different enemies. She did it on me again, so now I'm just backing off, and yeah, I got a while before the move's even up. So, I mean, that's really the only threat to this fight, as long as you can handle the, you know, the accuracy is just Charm and Cloud Splitter. Other than that, it's a very easy fight, but both of those mechanics, you make one tiny mistake, you make one tiny mistake, and the whole run's down the drain. Which kind of sucks, but it's definitely interesting to learn how to, like, juggle hate well for this fight. And the rewards are worth it. I definitely like the katana that she drops. It's definitely a good katana. Yeah. I'm gonna try taking the other archangels on difficult. Probably gonna start with the Galka and then do the Elven. The Elven is really touchy because she has a move like Spirits Within that will one-shot you. And so I gotta rely on the damage mitigation move for that. But the thing is, you know, we're doing it back to back. I know there's gonna be kiting going on and stuff, but that's about it. That's, you know, how I've done the Mithra fight. I hope you enjoyed this video, and may you have success in all you do.